Good evening. I have a fresh journal for you here, and I don't know where heart's going with this, but you'll soon see. The Divine Love Affair. Life as the Lover. Stand in for Source. Okay. Such love comes on me at times. I don't know what to do. I think I shall start giving into it to see where it takes me. To just flow with that. Somehow one knows one can trust this. Love is so sacred. Love is all. Oh, that I could share this with everyone. That would make me so happy. But how can this gift be given? It can't really. It has to be taken. People can only take this for themselves. How strange this life is here in 3D. Like so many others, I will be glad when it's over. It has been challenging. Yet, I am also so very glad to be here. I feel honored and privileged to be in a body right now, in this precious time of transition, to feel time ending as I do. Do you feel how time is shifting, how it is changing itself? I would say soon it won't be recognizable anymore, but it's too late for that. Time is already not recognizable for what it was these thousands of years. We are not recognizable either, but it is only with heart vision that this can be seen. I do so yearn for more and more of us to be seeing this way so we can have compatriots, people to talk to who will understand. Sometimes I think there is nothing more precious than being understood. Do you have anyone in your life whom you understand well? Do you share your understanding with that one? Do you reflect them back to themselves? Do you two recognize the precious gift that it is, this understanding? You celebrate that? It makes you feel less alone, another heart that resonates with your own. Now, of course, all of that's nonsense. Time is only now, so there's no waiting, there's no ending, there's no stopping, no beginning. And of course, we're not alone. It only seems so. But oh, how powerful a seeming can be when we're identified with our body, with our mind, with our part in 3D. All else, everything close to our heart can seem so far away. We know, truly know, what it's like to feel lost and abandoned. Those who incarnate here on earth, this is no easy assignment. Sometimes I remember to let the pain be the reminder to center down. Once you get used to heart living, you've found a new place, and it's not in 3D at all, yet it's so accessible here. In this new place, you're never lonely, never depressed, never bored. There's always a quiet joy running through you. It's truly amazing. I'd say it's like our home away from home, but it's more than that. It's truly a portal right into the all, a direct link up with Source. It's so amazing. We carry it around with us. There's a feeling of completeness that's present here, a supreme sort of contentment. You want for nothing. You are unutterably rich. And this is true happiness, my friends, and so much more, if you can believe it. Truly it is. I guess the reason more of us aren't already found always in heart is due to the route we must take, being a road of surrender. Those of us who are the true lovers of Source, that's no problem. Anyone who's ever been deeply in love knows you'd give your life for the beloved without qualm. And this is no joke. So when you're crazy in love like this, surrender is easy. But what about the rest? Obviously, bhakti yoga, or the path of love, isn't the only way home. It's one of many. Some come by way of wisdom, love of that. Some by way of truth, and I'm one of those too. To me, truth is adorable, nothing less, and completely divine. I see God in that. They are the same. Now, there's also the way of power. Did you know that as a legitimate way to source back to the heart of God? Right use of power is a great honor. And for those in whose breast beats the heart of integrity, the desire to serve, the divine use of power is a wonderful way home. It's a dangerous one, though it takes quite some time to work your way into being entrusted with significant power, it's quite easy to fall. Ego is the big trap, and not only yours, but those all around you, those you associate with on that path. Ego is the trap for all the ways back home to Source. But those on the path of divine power face the biggest challenges here, and it has a lot to do with our associates. On the path of divine love, as you can imagine, your associates are also in love with God. So there's no major pull or danger of ego there. The same for the most part on the path of divine wisdom. There are the well-educated ones there, and the temptation to intellectual pursuits, intellectual pride can draw one off track. But nothing like what those using power must deal with. We must respect them. Their way is most challenging of all, yet it has the most potential to bring blessing to so many, real changes in many lives. It may be that in the long, long ago, those in power now, those I call the powers that were also devotees of the divine. Well, I said long ago, right? So long that they lost their way and quite forgot their divine origins. We're talking a shockingly long time. They too once had the direct connection to Source, as we all do. All light beings are fed, as it were, through that direct line. We live on light. The food and water is for the body, not for who you really are. See, even we have forgotten so much. I call on divine mercy in each heart. I call us into understanding of the ones who are lost. Let us not grow so arrogant in our rejoicing in our connection with Source that we forget what it's like to be so far from that, so far outside of it that you even forget it ever was. That is shockingly barren, to be so far cut off. Now, while it is true that they cut themselves off, so did we. Do we remember that? Do we recall the first time we stepped out of the divine embrace and forgot we were God's little g? Even for us, that's back in antiquity. We can't even imagine what it's like for the dark side, friends. Let's not be so presumptuous as to judge them. Not till we run a marathon in their shoes. We have no right. We'd only be arrogant to presume we knew diddly squat about what it's like to be them. Now, on the other side of that equation, we have the Divine One, Prime Creator, First Cause, the Divine Lover, who is in love with every one of us, with all of her or his creation, completely in love, divine love. Now, let's just consider what it may be like for that one to be missing the lost ones, those who have pulled so far away from her, from their oneness with that. We can hardly imagine the pain of that. Wanting, oh, wanting to help, to reach out, but being rejected. Respecting free will so much that she honors our rejection. There's a divine love affair there too, one that's gone wrong. So let's both not presume to judge the powers that were, but more than that, let's remember how beloved they are of Source, of Prime Creator. They are some of her best handiwork, these ones who've wandered so very far. I call on us to respect that divine love affair, just as we do for each other. Let's have compassion for them and for Source. There's real pain there on both sides. On all three, if we could only open up. Wow. Where will the journals go next? It's always amazing. Source is amazing, and she reveals more and more of herself on this path of surrender, the one back to heart and home. We may give our all, but it's nothing compared to what Source gives. Though that's a funny angle to take on it. Source too gives her all. We're all being drawn into closer and closer relation to that on our way home. It may be only one or two dimensions or densities we're ascending on the spiral of spirit here. But oh, what a heavenly difference they make. We await with bated breath and fast beating heart our welcome home party. Oh, what a grand celebration it is. Let your heart feel into that. You're almost there. You're there already, actually. Just a bit of time travel required to tune into it. It's been lifetime after lifetime after lost, wandering lifetime we've been through, mostly chasing our tail without being aware of it. I think I'll start something new when we get over there. Laughing parties. We'll gather together, pull up the Akashic records, and laugh ourselves silly, watching our own antics, the many ways we hid from ourselves, the crazy ways we picked as shortcuts back home. Yeah, right. Oh, what a mess we were, friends. Yet, even so, I'm in love already and still with each beautiful heart, faithfully seeking its source. There's nothing in life so beautiful as the soul wed to her Lord, wed to Source. And if we can both see and feel the tenderness there, now please Just imagine how it feels from the other side, in the heart of Source. Any who could get the merest glimpse of that, their heart would just melt, puddling up on the floor. Oh, my friends, I do promise you, life itself really is this divine love affair. Source really is the most patient lover imaginable, and then some. We are loved beyond any human power or conception to love. We are cherished. We are adored. We are priceless to our Father, Mother divine, to our Source. Now, maybe we can't imagine what that must be like to Source, but we can feel it inside. And if we can, then we can also begin to see it outside, manifest in the whole of our lives. Go into heart, please. Look on this from there. Let go of all your ideas, your preconceived notions about God, about love. Let's drop them all. Go in empty, even empty of thought. Higher mind will take over. You've no need, so surrender it all and just be. Go in and just be. Once you get in there and get set, spend a few moments, even just 1 minute, in emptiness. Let the wind of spirit blow through you. Offer no resistance at all. Just let go. Now, from your perch in the heart or in the now moment, they're just the same. Look again at your life, at all the little things, not just the big ones. Look at it all, but with one difference. Look through eyes of heart. Their perspective is totally different. First of all, eyes of heart are just eyes. There's no mind, no head, no thinking attached to them. Empty eyes, just seeing. Next, heart eyes are divinely guided. It's higher self whose sight we now use or borrow. Higher self is all heart, so this is truly heart vision squared. When we look with these eyes, the perspective is different. The understanding that comes is different too. We suddenly see into things in strange ways. Oh, I just noticed the camera's goofing up. Well, I'm not going to stop now. We see how things fit together, how they mesh. More than anything, though, we see love in action, no matter where we look. How much and how fast you surrender has much to say about how quickly and how deeply you see into things. This is always there in heart vision, but it's like there are different depths or degrees. Source takes us gently into things. Careful not to blow any fuses. Heart knowing is what comes to us here. It's laced with love. It's inseparable from that. Now, this isn't your touchy-feely sort of human love. Nothing like. Sometimes love must be harsh, and the human mind won't understand this, but heart does, always. You can prove it to yourself once you get mind out of the way. It requires a constant willingness to surrender whatever comes up, whatever blocks your vision from this perspective. Be ready to let that go. It can be like a very subtle dance. Have you seen the subtle cues great dance partners give each other? How they can turn on a dime? Source will dance with you that way, leading your understanding along, but always by heart, never by mind, which just tags along. If you are willing to look inside at yourself, wherever Source points, then you can be led. Sometimes it will hurt. Actually, often it will hurt. Why is that? It has to do with what is causing that pain. If you pay close attention, you will find that the pain is not really yours. Almost always, it's the mind's pain. And you're not the mind. Rather, you have a mind. And it's entirely possible to get some distance from it. Source will help you do that if you're ready. Like I said, this isn't at all touchy-feely. Love often hurts when it's divine. Why is that? Well, because the divine has no time or attention for second-class things. What's most important to you? What do you care about most? When you can say it's your heart or your path or your soul or God or something like that, then you're ready for this walk. It takes earnest dedication like that to be willing to get down to business and to see what's holding you back. Source will go right for the core of it. God is an eager lover as well. With perfect vision, our lover, Source, knows just exactly what's in our way, what is holding you back, and she will point that out gently to you. Are you looking? Is your gaze inward turned? If you're busy in mind, then you'll miss the gentle guidance she gives. It's always there for you. You're that important to Source. No kidding. All we have to do is be fully present there in our kingdom of heart. That's it. It isn't given to me to be able to give you some special glasses to put on to finally show you how the divine lover has arranged everything just so in your life. I know that it's so, but maybe you'll have to have some faith to see things that way. One meeting, one moment, that's all it would take is a moment in union with Source. Then you'd know. You'd know that love and only love is what literally everything is about, and nothing else. Then it would be easy to see this. Meanwhile, give faith a try. It can work, especially for the sincere heart. Heaven knows when you've been trying so hard, nothing is hidden from Prime Creator, of course. Your whole story is known, more even than you know it, for even those just up in 6D can see all of your lifetimes when they look at you. They say we look like snakes with segments, each segment being one lifetime. Now, just imagine what shows up for Source. Trying to share a bit of this, the psalmist said that even the hairs on our head are numbered. We just can't even imagine, and there's no need to try. It can be felt or experienced directly. Just go within. I really can see, my friends, how it could be said that to enter this kingdom of heart is like being reborn. Everything so significantly changes that it's like leaving your old lifetime behind. You will be thoroughly changed, your values rearranged, your priorities, everything. There will be no going back, no more than the child can return to the womb that gave it birth. And if you're like me, you won't even be able to date it. And that's so funny since you know how I date and time these journals and all. Yet I can't point to any precise moment when anything really happened. One day I just looked up and I knew I was totally different, mostly in how I saw life now. Today, I read a few journals out of that July 2008 volume I shared with you in the last video. I was taken aback. That isn't so long ago, yet I had a totally different relationship with God back then. I was still addressing my journals to God, as I have done for most of my life. They once used to open with, "Dear God." I kid you not, it worked for me, and for such a long time. It made me realize that it's only been a very few years that I've been in this new life I'm living, even though it feels like I've been like this for such a long time. It feels eternal somehow, very strange. As I shared in an earlier video journal, I had to quit praying to God, to quit singing, to quit praising, to quit it all for a time. And there was even some anger, as I recall, at God, though it all seems like so very long ago now, memory has faded. It does seem like another life. Anyway, I wandered some months in the desert alone, having quite broken off with Source. Now, if you can imagine that, I doubt many can, what this lifetime of such an intimate, close relationship to God would be like, then to completely break that off. Can you imagine? Well, it just wasn't feeling right anymore, feeling comfortable. It just felt off somehow. So I figured that I must have a completely wrong idea about who and what God was. In order to seek out what was right, I had to make a clean break with what I had. So I did. Anyway, I don't mean to get into all of that here. I just really wanted to share with you what a short time ago it was that I was still in that old relationship before the really big change. So I can at least date it sometime between the summer of '08 and now, the beginning of the big 2012. Not long at all. What I started this journal out with was the marvel of what is happening to time. I truly believe that there are things our souls have striven for over lifetimes, over thousands of years, that can happen for us now in a year, in a month, in a weekend even. Heck, in an instant, anything's possible. But the instant thing, that's more the miracle, and that's always been available. The other, time quickening the way it is, that one is new. I can really see the acceleration the Mayan calendar points out. Dr. Carl Kalaman's work with that. I've heard some who say that because we didn't all ascend or some big thing on October last year, that it's been proven a fake. I find that terribly shallow and a view from mind, not from heart. Heart eyes see something totally different here. Time really is changing. Things, growth in particular, are happening very quickly now. If you don't have old, outdated ideas and beliefs in the way, you can change lightning fast. You really can. Lay down one night, wake up the next morning different. I've done it any number of times. The only thing holding us back may well be our own beliefs. So get in there and check into that. See if you're still expecting things to take a long time. Ditch that trash. No such thing. Soon, very soon now, time as we knew it will just disappear. There may well be some who will go crazy then, those that are not prepared, those with their noses still firmly to the grindstone of the workaday world. Let's light the fire of our own hearts and get them burning so brightly that theirs too will be ignited. Really, folks, that's the best way, maybe the only real way to make a difference for others. You've got to see to yourself first. No other way. People don't realize it yet, but the outside, the whole world out there, is really just your insides. I'll put a link with this to the latest Dimitri Halley video, which says that the outer world itself is really the mind. I agree. Even just walking around in the world, we're really walking around on the inside of us. The outside is just an illusion. Many are proving this now in their very own lives, but they're not going to bring that forward for you to examine. It's up to each one to make this trek. It's very much a do-it-yourself project. Their advancement won't do you a darn bit of good. Look to yourself. This magical view of the world that I share here with you, this too is something I just can't hand over to you. You've got to go within your own heart to find your own heart vision there. This whole thing is very, very experiential. It's available. That's the great news. However, no one can do this for you. Now, are you ready? How much do you want this? How in touch with your own heart are you? Are you even really aware of all that's in there? I doubt it. How well do you know yourself? That's a critical question. And it's okay if you're late getting some answers to any of this. Time will be very forgiving, since it's on its way out the door, never to return. So you can expect lightning speed for yourself. Go light on the expectations, though. Stay out of mind with them. Let them be strictly things of heart. What you will find in heart instead of expectations is knowings. You will just find yourself knowing how things work, how certain things are to be. That's just a property of heart. If you haven't experienced it yet, maybe you're not quite as much in heart as you thought. I don't know, though, so don't trust me or anyone else for anything. It's time to get down to it and trust only Source and only your own higher self, the divine one you truly are. Trust no one and nothing else over these. Whenever your heart and something disagree, go with heart. I don't care who the authority or the teacher or the guru or the scripture or whatever is. It doesn't matter. There is no higher authority on the planet in this new age than your very own heart. Get that. It can take you home. All the way home.